Hell, Spencer here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we have got the DC Multiverse Trench Warrior Collect and Connect from the Aquaman movie, or aka Ocean Master. What do you think about this character? Honestly, I really liked what they did in the movie. I really liked how his costume kind of developed throughout the movie. Same as I mentioned about Black Widow. Same as I mentioned about Black Manta. His costume started out as one thing and it's just slowly added and developed and then became this thing. And I love how they did the mask in that movie as well. It was just really, really good. And you could really feel this guy's pain and anguish about how he felt towards his brother, his mother, his insanity, you know. But yeah, all in all, it was actually a really great take on him. Someone mentioned saying what they did. Because Jason Momoa has black hair, one of the reasons they got this guy, they gave him blonde hair because in the comics, Aquaman has blonde hair and Orm has black hair. So that's one of the things they did to kind of flip it up, which is a very interesting take if that's actually true. I don't know if it is true, it's just someone mentioned it. I thought that's actually pretty interesting. So let's have a quick look at the packaging and then we'll get into this figure. So as you can see on the front of the packaging, you do have the DC logo there, along with the Multiverse logo there. Little metal one there. Then we have the Aquaman logo there. Orm here, the character's name. I really wish it said Orm Ocean Master or Ocean Master, but whatever. Top says Connect and Collect Trench Warrior. There's nothing apart from, there's the DC logo just there. I like how they got this like textured square thing, that's pretty cool. Bottom packaging, just some obligatory legal jargon. Side of the packaging, the exact same art on the front of the packaging. The exact same art on the same as the front and the side of the packaging. Then on the back of the packaging, there is your bio for those who'd like to read it. Same art again, and there is the Collect and Connect figure, the Trench Warrior, and the rest of the figures in the wave. We are on number 3, so you wonder who's going to be next. Okay, so let's get this guy out of packaging and see how good he really is. Okay, so here we have Orm, aka Ocean Master, out of his packaging. What do we think? Yeah, it's not a bad figure actually. It's not bad. Few nitpicks on this one. One exact same as Black Manta, but all in all, it's not a bad figure at all. Now, Orm comes with only one accessory, which is of course his trident in his hand, and one Build-A-Figure piece. He comes with the left leg. But again, we'll take a closer look at this when we have a look at the actual figure. So let's have a quick close-up look at that accessory, and then we'll go over the close-up of the actual figure. Okay, so I'm not going to zoom in as much as I normally do when I do close-ups because it's too big. Can't get it all in. And I really want you to see the lovely colours in this thing. It really is nice. There's some really great sculpt going through it, these great lines like leading up to the trident end and then down to like the mace end at the bottom. As you can see, mine's ever so slightly warped. It's not massively, but yeah, it's not too bad at all. It's sculpted in just this really nice kind of silver, and then as you can see, you have this like fade purple going to each end, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous. Real great accessory. I really do like this. So having a close-up look at the actual figure, you can see his head is sculpted in this really nice silver where we have his helmet there. The faceplate is a separate plastic and it is a softer plastic. The back fins are not. They're a little bit softer, but they're still quite firm. But as you see, my one is warped, so I'm going to have to heat that up. The eyes are really good and they pop just absolutely amazingly. I really do like how they look, and the paint on the actual face itself is pretty clean and does match the neck, which seems to be also painted. The detail sculpt on the actual chest torso is absolutely amazing. The scales just look phenomenal. I mean, they're not super detailed, but you can see them and they are really, really good and very clear. And then you've got the details on his stomach here with these nice like six-pack guards, I guess. And as you can see, this like honeycomb shape is also sculpted underneath the chest, so it continues with the ab crunch, which is really nice. This belt is actually a soft rubber, which is glued directly to the crotch piece, so therefore it doesn't really hinder the articulation. Well, I'd say it doesn't really, kind of hinders, but you can work with it. Some great paint apps on the actual legs with that nice kind of silver. It looks like there's a slight difference in the silvers here, whereas I think that is sculpted silver, and that might, no, I think it's the other way around. I think that's sculpted purple. Do you know what? I don't know. I can't tell. Because the purples match pretty clean, so I think they're both sculpted just in two different shades of silver, which I think is weird. The boots are pretty cool. Do you like them? Oh, I don't know if you can class them boots because they're kind of like a continuation, but really, really nice. Now, inside of the cape, there's no real detail. But on the back of the cape, you have the scales as well, which I really do like, but I'm holding him up with his cape. It's very, very, very solid, and it has this massive block there underneath, which I don't like. But taking a look at the back of the figure, you can see there is some nice armour and paint under there as well. So each of these little bits honeycomb are painted. And of course you've got some armour on the posterior. And one part I forgot to look at was the gauntlets. These two also look absolutely gorgeous. Really, really nice. Now it looks like they are actually a separate piece going into, well, the arm goes into them. So that's quite an interesting design. Or an interesting choice rather. And then again you have some great details on the actual fists and hands. And I've just spilled coffee over. Absolutely perfect. Anyway, on to the review. Let's go over some of my gripes real quick. Now, the first one is the cape. I really like the cape, but it's just solid. Like, I'm pinching the cape and holding the figure up absolutely fine. It's a very, very hard plastic, and the only place you can really bend it here is where it's finished. So it's really hard to bend it here. And like I said a minute ago, like the big old block in the back, which I don't like. I get why they do it because it makes it kind of like stand out more. So as much as I really do like this scale, I would most likely get rid of this and replace it with a soft goods cape. Of course, the other thing is that the cape is very back heavy, so when you try and stand him up, he just constantly wants to fall back. So you have to kind of tilt him forward. It isn't massively bad, but I don't know, not a fan. Not a fan of that of how that's been utilised. My second gripe is the ankle rockers. Exact same problem with Black Manta. They just have, I thought this would be better because of the shape, but they've just designed it poorly. So unless you really force it and stretch it, you just can't use them. And then my third gripe, again exact same issue as Black Manta, is the hand. Look how close that thumb and finger are. So to try and get this in there is impossible. You have to kind of force it. And there you go, it's in. Now that's fine, and you see he's holding it at this part. Let me zoom out. You see he's holding it at the finished part and he's holding it quite tightly. But if you want to get him to hold it at this bit, you're going to stretch the hands that bit, and then he won't be able to hold it at the tight bit, so he'll only ever then be able to hold it from there. Other gripe of course is he has a two-handed weapon but only has one hand willing to hold. So it's like can't grab it. Damn you. Articulation. So Ocean Master has a ball in the neck, which seems to go into the head. So you get some nice kind of tilt from there to there, a little bit of pivot from there to there, and it can rotate around 360. Mine is very stiff though. But yeah, it does rotate around really nicely. Shoulders are on borders, so you can rotate around 360 degrees, but of course you are hindered by this cape, so you are going to have to come out if you want to go all the way around. Then we have a bicep rotation of 360 degrees. Single bend in the elbow. Now this one, it's a separate piece. It wobbles, but you cannot rotate around, and I don't want to force it. A rotation of the wrist, 360 degrees, and you can hinge from there to there. Has an ab crunch from there to there. Superman. Waist rotation. Now, as I mentioned, this is a rubber belt, but it will slightly hinder, and you see it is bending with it. In fact, here it's popping up as I'm rotating. So just bear that in mind, but you can fully rotate the waist around. T-cut hips, so with this leg all the way forward and this leg all the way back, that is his Spartan kick. Can do a split kick of that, which is very nice. Upper thigh rotation of 360 degrees. Double bend at the knees, keep it coming, metal. No boot rotation, and then do an ankle point from there to there, and utilising that ankle pivot, he can go from there to there, unless you really want to force it. But I feel like I'm stretching a peg, or yeah, I don't feel like that's going in at the right angle. So realistically, I personally would probably have to sculpt off. It wouldn't even need to be much. It would probably have to be like about a couple of millimeters just from there, just to give it some clearance. That's all it would need. Don't know if I'll do it, but we shall see. And as the late Glenn Webb used to say, utilising those ankle rockers, this is the furthest possible splits he can do with both feet firmly on the ground. Also, from this shot, you can see how silver his feet are compared to the rest of the body. It's really weird. It's literally like they've done a silver for the shoulders, the head, the arms, the hips, but then for the legs, they were like, nah, let's not bother. Even the knees. Did not notice that before until just now. Sure, there was a logical reason behind that. Okay, size comparison. Orm, or aka Ocean Monster, stands to the top of his head 6 3/4 inches, to the top of his head, to the top of his fin 7 inches, which is equal to about 17 centimeters or 17.5 centimeters. Here we have stand next to some figures from the movie Justice League Dawn of Justice. We have, of course, Cyborg, Batman, Aquaman, Mirror, Superman, Flash, Wonder Woman. Here we have them standing next to some other DC Extended Universe villains. We have, I can't reach because I'm so far back, I'll try and point from here, Ares from Wonder Woman, General Zod from Man of Steel, the Joker from Suicide Squad, Black Manta from, of course, Aquaman movie, Lex Luger from Batman vs Superman, the Nightmare Queen, which is my stand-in for Man-Bat from Batman vs Superman, a Parademon. This is a basic figure, not a multiverse figure. This is from the Justice League movie, and of course Steppenwolf also from the Justice League movie. Honestly, this like Rogues Gallery now, or whatever you want to call these supervillains, really starting to take shape. Yeah, I've only got Joker here from Suicide Squad. I still haven't included my Deadshot, Harley, Captain Boomerang, Diablo, all other villains, but these are like the main ones. Okay, so final thoughts. What do we think of this figure? Would we recommend it? Honestly, yeah. I think it's a great representation of the character. I did really like the character in the movie, and I really think it's nice to have a figure of him. Ocean Master, I can't say it is a comic favourite of mine, but I am happy we have him as a supervillain, and I am happy he is here. So yes, and I would recommend this figure. It's a solid figure. Few nitpicks, they weren't massive ones, they're ones you can deal with. One other nitpick I forgot to mention was his elbows. We can't even do 90-degree bends. Those are a bit frustrating. I forgot to mention that when we went over articulation. But all in all, the figure's good. It's a solid figure, and I would say it's worthwhile if you're a fan of the character or just want a solid Ocean Master for any of your collections. But I am thankful to have him in my DC Extended Universe movie, whatever they're calling themselves now, villain. So, typical for my reviews, just as I've gone to do the final part of the review, my battery died. So literally I got to this point. So anyway guys, that is my review. I hope you did like this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for the second figure in this wave, Mirror. And I'm going to catch you in our next review. See ya!